Hello, welcome to December 18th, 2022. My name is Kurt, and this is my daily Good Life meditation video. This is an exercise that I do every morning shortly after waking up. It's 4:36 a.m. right now. I'm a little behind schedule. I do this exercise to remember my life objectives and principles, those outlined in my book, Going Alone. I also use this time to remember how I did yesterday, to think about how I did yesterday, applying these to the opportunities and challenges that I met. And then I finish by planning for the coming day, trying to forecast what I might meet and how I can better be prepared to do well, to keep my balance, maintain my equanimity, keep a focus on my objectives, and use my principles to navigate the ups and the downs and everything in between. All right, let's begin. And good morning, Parker. First, last night and yesterday. I would say that I slept really well last night. In fact, it might be the first time in a long time that I slept a normal night's sleep. Normal being what I used to sleep in my youth. Putting my head on the pillow at when I hop in bed and snapping my fingers, so to speak, and the next thing I know, it's dawn. The only thing that interrupted that was I wake up in the morning for biology, but otherwise I slept soundly. I told my wife last night over dinner, I wish every night could be a Saturday night. I'm sure everybody does. You know, nice dinner, movie with my wife, and no work to think about the next day. That's a good one. Every night, Saturday night. Excuse me. But then, if every night was Saturday night for all of us, how do we get anything done? I know. AI and robots. The future, I hope, for others. Not too late for me and you. All right, unless you're watching this in the future. All right, yesterday and last night. Yesterday was a very good day. That's also probably why I slept so well. We did our chores. I did a book reading. Whoa, careful, buddy. Come here. We went, did our shopping. Come on. You want to sit here? Come on. Come on, buddy. We did our shopping, and we had a good day. It was a very good day, Yumiko and I. And I went to the beach and swam, too. So 2 trips to the beach yesterday. Here, make yourself comfy. Not really much to mention, except I did stumble across a new principle yesterday, which is big news. That's what I should use for the title. The principle of family. Funny, it seems like that would have been in there earlier. I guess it kind of reveals my focus. My focus has always been first and foremost the adventure of life and introspection. It's like I don't have a principle for food. It's important. I kind of take it as a given. Although I do list my diet in the book, Going Alone. But I've decided to add family. And it came about by a curious method. I was not, again, you can criticize me as being not having a good and proper focus. Family should be first and foremost, I would imagine. That's the cliche, right? It's interesting how that is certainly the case for me, although I don't proclaim that. I don't, beat that drum very often. But it certainly has been the driving force ever since I turned back from that mountain in the desert at 24 and went back to Yumiko and resolved to build a life with her and a family and a home and etc., even though our home has never been permanent, more like a nomadic home. Still, a family nonetheless. And I think quite successful at that. We've raised our daughter. We've gotten through thick and thin, 35 years. And all the accoutrements that should be expected of a good relationship. I mean, not perfect, of course, but a very good relationship from two people, very different, but who share a very common grounding in values. That's the key. So, the reason that I came to add the principle of family was by way of the sub-principle that I will apply to it, which is catalyst. And I realized that family is a big umbrella. I could put a lot of stuff underneath that. Catalyst, because I was thinking I think I was writing yesterday in my journal how, I think it was yesterday, I was definitely writing, but about how without family, we wouldn't be driven to push through the difficult parts at work when our job is hard, to build a career, to do all the hard stuff, which yields great benefit in terms of fulfilling our objectives, of all the objectives actually. It becomes a foundation for all of that. It's a catalyst for that. And I was specifically thinking about my own life, because whose life do I know any better? That if I hadn't chosen the direction of family, I might not have had the fortitude to do all the good stuff to completion. You know, the career, the raising of the child, all the projects that I've done as a project manager, all the kids that I've taught as a teacher, all of the antiques that I delivered as an failed antique vendor, merchant, and all the books that I've written as an author. All of those things were catalyzed by my commitment to family. So now I'll bring it in as a part of the good life. This will be principle number 33, the principle of family and the sub-principle of catalyst. Where to put it? Not quite sure yet. Maybe I'll find a place as I do my meditation this morning. Feels like it belongs near purpose. I was tempted to put it as a sub-principle of purpose. It looks a lot like the sub-principle of biology, doesn't it? But that's a different, slightly different message. That's fulfilling a mandate of sorts. Family is more than reproduction. It's more than having a child. It's all that comes with the connections, the compromise. It is a compromise, the give and take of establishing a good relationship, the balance, the hard work. But it complements the biological purpose of our being, which is to have children. It also looks a lot like the social principle, but different, of course. Could belong close to either of those. Could be after social principle and then the principle of family. That's probably where it belongs. Or how about the principle of purpose and then family? No, that's not the best place. I think that's where I'll put it, after the social principle. So it'll muck things up. Now, because that's still, a third of the way through the good life. It's whenever I add something new that throws my memory off. But let's give it a try, shall we? Okay, so first, my 7 objectives are, see, I'm already thrown off. Number 1, to be always ready to die. To have my affairs, my relationships, and my life's work in order. Number 2, to make good and effective use of time. No. Number 2, to that is it. To not fritter my life away. 3, to develop and maintain good and sound life principles, and you're seeing me do that this morning. 4, to cultivate good emotional reactions so that I react well to things. 5, The principle objective 2. I'm really mucked up now that I even threatened to add something that's got me all mixed up. I might have to grab the book and use it for help. Crutch of sorts. 5 is to perform good actions, just to do good things throughout the day. I usually don't I don't usually mess up so much on the objectives. Number 6 is to recognize true limits and true opportunities. And number 7 is to do just one thing at a time and do that thing slowly and deliberately and carefully. Okay, let's take a big sip of coffee and move through the principles. Principle number 1 is is the principle of war, to always be fighting against propositions of truth and things that I already hold on to as true. Number 2 is reason, and the sub-principles of honesty, objectivity, doubt, and humiliation. Number 3 is the homunculus, the reminder that though I do not have a soul, I do have a consciousness. Number 4 is the anchor hold, the reminder that my consciousness is trapped in a mortal coil that will die, and the consciousness will wink out with it very quickly, permanently, forever. Number 5 is, the next one is the home of good and evil. Right and wrong exist as opinions. They don't exist as absolutes. So too, good and evil. And then, I think I'm going to need the book. Just telling myself I was going to add something has kind of messed up my ordering. By the way, this is my book, Going Alone. This is the reason I do this. I wrote this book to explain about my adventures that led me to recognize the emptiness of the universe, a universe without God. And then how I answered that challenge of what to do, how to make a worthwhile life, how to create a life of meaning in a universe seemingly devoid of objective meaning other than the biological mandate to reproduce. And that's my book. So I've got the Good Life Creed is in here. I can follow along. So then comes the anchor hold, the home of good and evil, the principle of purpose, and the sub-principle of biology, virtue, and mission, the atomic principle, and the sub-principles of dissolution and emergence. And I always forget to talk about those two sub-principles. Dissolution, everything falls to pieces, and emergence, things come back, but not as they were before, new things. Then the principle of nature, everything has some particular nature. The pirate ride, why did I put that there? The course of a stream. Free will is an illusion. And then the principle of maturity. Did I miss my chance? Where did I say I was going to add it? The social principle, huh? The principle of maturity, everything, yes, and the sub-principles of wisdom, fortitude, and integrity. And then the social principle, and the sub-principles of diplomacy, justice, and conspiracy. Then, here's where I'm going to add the principle of family. And the sub-principle of catalyst. I like that. That's going to be a good addition. I'll have to do a little write-up. Maybe I can do that this morning. And then public speaking, and the sub-principles of best words, prudence, eloquence, rumor, and gossip. Then temperance, and the sub-principles of suffering and simplicity. Sometimes I forget to talk about those. And then life will not go well, the next principle. Then the horror show, and then that which must be born, the feast of Oval, the banquet of our suffering, the principle of distraction, and then agency and the great indifference, and then the best seat in the house, the restless man, the path of wildness, the great life adventure, the risk of avoiding risk, sin and damnation, complete oblivion, the season of philosophy, the bullseye aim, the uphill climb, arena and utility, nothing is enough, and the principle of fun. Why is that all capitalized? Oh, that's good. There you go. All right, now for my day today, what I'm going to do. I'm going to finish this. I'll upload this. Then I'll read my Bible, walk the dogs, feed the dogs, or in the other order, feed the dogs, then walk the dogs. And then I'll come back in here and fire up the computer, and I'll add the principle of fun to the book, which is always a labor. Well, mainly because I don't have any muse here, and I have to do it without the muse. It's hard to write without my muse. It's labored effort. I can do it, though. Just have to kind of take a run and start at it a couple times, and then it'll be a good day ahead of us. This is our day off. No chores. We do have to go to Costco. That's it. I think get some chicken for the dogs, frozen chicken. And otherwise, it's our day. Amy and I are going to go out and have a nice lunch together and get some ice cream, and then come home and relax ahead of tomorrow. And of course, an ocean swim. That's it for me. A little tired, but I'll get back on my feet. But because I have the catalyst of family, although that's kind of winding down with Emily grown, I have to find some other catalyst, and work may be coming to an end with retirement. I'll have to find some other catalyst. At least I know about it. I'm forewarned. I wonder what the next catalyst could be. Maybe that's why so many old people kind of despair and fall away without the catalyst of the prepackaged catalyst. Maybe that's the way it's meant to be, right? We just kind of unwind and die without purpose, without catalyst. All right. With that, I'll stop. I wish you all the best. Be safe, but not too safe. And with that, my life is done. Take care.